death can save you from me.
Boys, welcome back to the channel. And I can say boys because YouTube has told me so. I have been working on something big. The premise is this. With the introduction of Terror Zones and cracked Andariel and Mephisto, is it possible to complete a Diablo 2 Holy Grail in 1 month? Corporate by day and habited by night. I've been setting alarms at ungodly hours to get up and run hours and hours of Terror Zones for you lads. But it's all been worth it to give the Diablo 2 kings what they want. I've compiled all the best clips from my journey to give you guys a biblical collection of Diablo 2 drop highlights. And just so we're clear, when I talk about a Holy Grail, I'm talking about the 21 rarest items in the game. Because, let's be real, no one cares about the rest. The items I'm hunting are of course the 21 T87 Diablo 2 uniques. Those are Mang Song's Lesson, Death Cleaver, Dark Force Spawn, Asrian's Iron Ward, the Grandfather, Crown of Ages, Griffin's Eye, Death's Fathom, Storm Spire, Executioner's Justice, Wind Force, Ghost Flame, Shadow Dancer, Steel Rend, Tyrael's Might, Templar's Might, the Cranium Basher, Earth Shifter, D-Web, Steel Pillar, and Gargoyle's Bite. The rules for the challenge are these. I can't manipulate Terror Zones, so basically I can only run Andariel, Mephisto, and places like Trav when they're legitimately terrorized. Outside of that, I run the Pits, the Stony Tombs, Chaos Sanctuary, and some World Stone Keep. Generally, I run Andy on P7, Meph and Juriel on P5, and all other zones on P8. I will show all T87 drops, including duplicates. To keep the video within 24 hours, I'll show other cool, unique, and set drops only once. I found some of these a billion times. Finally, I'm doing all this on my Hammerden. He's running the same gear as my last video, so if you haven't checked that out, I'll drop a link down below. That's it for the yapping, lads. Let's jump in. Alright, kicking things off with the Andariel simulator here, we pick up a unique Earth Spirit. Pretty decent item, that's Spirit Keeper. Alright, here we go, back with Andy, and we pick up a unique ring. Always exciting picking up unique rings because always looking for that SOJ, and we pick up a nice Nature's Piece here. Alright, here we go lads, picking up our first T87 unique. There it is, unique Berserker Axe. We go ahead and ID the Alma Negra first. Pretty cool item, not a lot of use over other things like Exile, but there's that, and there's our unique Berserker Axe, the Death Cleaver. Go ahead and pick up our next T87 unique pretty quickly thereafter. It is the unique Corona, which is the Crown of Ages, which rolls 1 to 2 sockets, 20-30 on the all res, and 10 to 15 on the DR. Oof, not great boys, not great. Moving on to Mephisto here, he drops a pretty cool ethereal unique here. That is the unique Hyperion Spear, which is Ariox Needle. Unfortunately, the roll isn't that great. We miss out on the +4 to skills, and the ED isn't great either. I actually stopped killing the Ghoul Lords on my way to Mephisto just to keep that much more efficient, but these were the first couple of runs where I was knocking them off. We end up clearing out the champion pack here, and we get that unique Scourge. Pretty cool one here, boys. I'll give the old spin ID. There it is, and boom, we actually pick up a Stormlash, which is really cool. Of course, lads, it wouldn't be a drop highlight reel without the El Clasico set lacquered plate.
What's your problem, Grim?
We all know what it is. It is the Tal Rush's Guardianship. Big one just after, lads, and boom, there it is. Unique Bloodlord Skull. This was actually on my all-time grail list, as I hadn't found it until the day that it dropped. And have a look at that, we actually find it F as well, which is really sick. The important rolls on this one are 1 to 3 on all of the Necro skills, so let's have a look, and... oh yeah, that's about as bad as it gets, lads. We ended up having a bit of excess gold here, lads, so we go ahead with our druid and do some gambling. Somebody let Cooley know, because this ring I found is going straight in the trophy room. Anyway, moving swiftly onwards, we do find a unique Aegis from Diablo. Pretty cool item, pretty rare one. That's Medusa's Gaze. Not a lot of use for this one, but pretty cool. Next clip's just a cool milestone to show that I hit level 96, following on from our last video. So my pally's getting there. Just taking out Diablo again here, and we get a pretty cool drop. That is 2 unique rings. Always exciting, but as we know, lads, they're always trash. But hey, 2 SOJs, 1 Carrion Wind, which is pretty cool. And the second one is a 21 Nagel. Just trash. Found a billion of these throughout the runs, lads, but I thought I'd at least canvas one of them. That is, of course, the classic 7MF Small Charm. Pick up a pretty cool base here, lads. It is a 4 open socket, 45 all-res Kura shield. Not the Eth Sacred Taj, but still pretty cool. Now, lads, unlike Llama or Cooley, I'm not the best at identifying whether or not a rare circlet's any good, but I do pick this one up. It looks pretty cool for like a Zealot. It's just missing the cast rate. I included it, hoping someone down below could let me know if it's worth anything. So, lads, we're in a bit of a T87 dry spell, so I engage the services of Juriel here to give us a hand. Here are some of the best drops. Yeah, that's about enough out of Juriel for the time being, lads. Next drop, we find a 175 poison damage small charm. I found a few of these over the course of the runs. Now, if anyone needed a reminder, don't jump into a pack while you're amp damaged and while they have fanaticism.
I'm so fucking scared right now!
Seconds from death, lads. Seconds. Next run here, lads, we find a pretty cool amulet from Eldritch. We go ahead and clear the pack out and ID. And there it is, 10 FCR, 2 summoning skills for the Necro, some Dex, and some Res. Pretty cool. Classic one here, lads. We find the unique White Fleece, which is, of course, Cladbane. Unfortunately, this one isn't Eth. I didn't find an Eth one through the runs, but just included one in there for the highlight reel. And how good's my luck here, lads? I find a pretty cool pair of 220s for a potential Mosaic Assassin. But wouldn't you know, they're Eth.
Okay, Bart, your turn, your turn. You got the done!
Moving swiftly on, we are still killing the special packs around Mephisto, so we take out this champion pack, and we do find the unique Elder Staff, which is one of 2 items in the game, along with the Annie, that give plus to experience. There we go on identify, and it is, of course, Ondale's Wisdom. Just a cool one I thought I'd flag here, lads, which is the unique cap, just because of how rare it is to find in such a high-level terrorized area. I'll throw the probability counter up there for a few runs moving forward, just to show how rare a couple of things are. This run here, we pick up a Skiller. Obviously not the best one, but that is +1 to defensive auras with some Dex. Another kind of rare one that I just wanted to highlight here, lads, which is the unique Balrog Spear. That is, of course, Demon's Arch. The T87 drought continues here, lads, but we do manage to pick up a unique Mithril Coil, which is the classic Dungos. The key role there, obviously, is the DR, and we do pick up the maximum reduction by 15%. Not the most exciting one, lads, but we do pick up a unique pair of Vampire Bone Gloves, which are, of course, Drax. Essential item for any smiter going in to take out the Ubers, just because of that chance to proc Life Tap. Hammerden's not the best cow killer, but I do take him through the cows here and there. When they're terrorized, we do pick up another Skiller here, and slightly better than the last one. This is a plain Peacomb. Pretty cool. Still here taking out the Bovine, lads, and if Blizzard needed any more proof that this game needs a loot filter, I mean, Look at that, I almost missed the jewel hanging out there in the bottom left. End up picking it up and teleporting out to safety. We do end up giving it an ID, and it's a 4/4 fire. Pretty rare one here from the cows. We pick up the unique destroyer helm, which is of course Demon Horn's Edge. Just taking out Shank here when he's terrorized, and he gives us the classic unique monarch, which is of course Storm Shield. Pretty cool item. Again, just ridiculous how rare this one is. We take out Rakinishu and he drops unique boots. I mean, come on. And we're on a T87 drought. Like, spare me, please. Another absolute classic that for some reason over the course of my Diablo 2 career, I've never found ethereal. But that is, of course, Reaper's Toll. We pick this one up and ID it, and we find about 7 million of these over the course of the runs. Another pretty cool and rare one from Andy. It doesn't roll F, but it does roll +2 to skills, and that is, of course, Arcane's Valor. Again, more rare, but I don't cares. From Andy, we do pick up the unique Blood Spirit, which we did find in our previous video, and that is Cerebrus Bite. This one, for some reason, as a kid, I just thought was wild, but it's the unique Blade Barrier. Don't ask me why, I just thought it was pretty rare and cool, and there it is, Spike Thorn. Another pretty cool and rare one here, lads. We get the unique Troll Nest. It was a big day at work, it's just an absolute mess here. I go back to old graphics, I zoom in, I end up getting in my stash, and then I can't pick up the ID scroll, but we do get there, and there's Headhunter's Glory. Just a little bit of a double drop here, lads. We get a unique amulet, and we also go ahead and pick up the Grand Charm. We do ID a 1 offensive Aura's Skiller, and we also ID the amulet, which is a Knockazarm. Now, lads, as I like to do with big drops, I'm going to let this one play, and this is a huge way to break our drought. Please enjoy, and I will see you guys on the other side. Lads, Tyrael's Might. What the actual hell? I thought this challenge would not be possible because I'd just be stuck on Tyrael's for basically ever, but it turns out it's literally the 4th T87 we find, which is nuts. I know people like Sweet Phil have been looking for this for years, but it was just my lucky day. There it is. How beautiful. Closing out the Terrorized Andy, we do get one just as the Terrorized zone changes over, and that is, of course, the Giant Skull, which is the unique Bone Visage. Pretty cool one, but not a lot of use cases because of the knockback. Just out here taking out our local council members in the Terrorized Durance. They had Conviction Aura, so as we know, my Merc died about 17 billion years ago. They dropped their unique Corona, which is great. That's our Crown of Ages again. And this one has a much better roll than the original. We end up getting +30 on the all res, +12 on the DR, and 2 open sockets. Still out here taking out the special packs in the Terrorized Durance, and we do pick up a unique jewel. Go ahead and give it the ID, and it is a 5/3 Lightning. Mephisto gives us a pretty cool one here, which is an Istrune. You'll notice for the course of these runs that my high rune luck was terrible, but here we are. Pretty cool one from a special pack here. We get a unique legendary mallet. This can roll either Stone Crusher or Chafers, and we get the Stone Crusher. Another T87 duplicate from Mephisto. We pick up another unique Berserker Axe, which is the classic Death Cleaver. Taking out the Terrorized Council members in the Durance again, and we go ahead and pick up another unique facet. I like showing these because they're pretty unique in the way that they roll, and you'll see that my luck with these isn't the best, but we go ahead and give this one the ID, and we get a 5/4 fire. Another little double drop here from Andy. We pick up a unique amulet, and we pick up another facet. Go ahead and pop those in the cube, and we ID the amulet first, which is a crescent moon, and our facet is a 4/5 poison. Breaking the drought once again, boys, we do pick up our unique warpike, which is, of course, steel pillar. Pretty cool one. Not the best item, but one to knock off the list. Pretty cool one here, lads. We get a unique Spider Helm from Andy. Spider Helm can roll either Nightwings or Veil of Steel, Nightwings being the preferred, and it's got a roll of 90 to 120 on the ED, 815 to cold skill damage, 10 to 20 on the dex, and 5 to 9 on the cold absorb. But have a look at this. Perfect ED, almost perfect cold skill, perfect cold absorb, and 17 on the dex. Another pretty boring but rare one is the unique ward from Andy. Not a lot of uses for this item, but it's pretty rare in any case, and that is, of course, the Spirit Ward. Another double here from Andy. We get a unique ring, and we also get another unique facet. So we go ahead and pop those in the cube and ID the facet, which is a 4/4 poison, and then our ring is a 25 Nagel. Again, a bit of a rare one that no one cares about is our set Scissor Swahaya, which is, of course, Nat's Claw. Pretty cool one, and the rarest item in the set. Breaking the drought with Andy once again, and we drop a Ghost Flame, which is the unique Legend Spike. Always rolls ethereal. Not a lot of use cases for this one, but a pretty cool item nonetheless, and one to knock off our list. Duplicate central here with Andy, but we do pick up another unique warpike, which is our steel pillar. Got a full stash there, but we just chuck a couple of items out there and give it the ID, and there we are. Slaughtering some more cows down at the slaughterhouse. We do pick up a small charm out in the corner there. Give it the ID, and we pick up a shimmering small charm, +5 all res. Pretty cool. In before probability counter on this one, we pick up a unique pair of leather gloves in the unterrorized stony tombs, which are, of course, the Hand of Brock. Another absolute classic, boys, which is actually on my all-time grail list. We pick up the unique Colossus Blade, which is, of course, the Grandfather. Another one to tick off our list. Again, another rare one given where we are in such a high level terror zone, but we get the unique Buckler. Again, returning back to the Andy simulator, we pick up another rare amulet. This one's pretty nice, pretty good for a druid. We get +2 to druid skills, 10 FCR, some min damage, energy, and poison res. Oh yeah, boys, another big one. Boom, there it is. Unique Caduceus, which is, of course, the Astrian's Iron Ward. I found this puppy once before off Pindle, but we do get a pretty decent roll, +3 to combat skills, and we get a pretty decent flat damage roll. Lads, you guessed it, we're back with Andy. A bit of a longer one here because one of the hammers hits one of the dudes out to the left there who drops a unique Scourge. Again, that can either be Stormlash or Horizon's Tornado, and Andy herself gives us a ring. We do go ahead and give the IDs there, so we do get the Horizons on this occasion, and the ring is trash. Another one off the list, but a less exciting one. There it is, unique Winged Harpoon from Andy, which is, of course, our Gargoyle's Bite. Not a lot of use cases for this one, but one off our list. So lads, you ever been up at night wondering what the worst Dark Force spawn of all time is? Well, look no further, because this one here from Andy is potentially the worst thing I've ever seen. Ugh. Again, just a quick note here that our pally reaches a new milestone of level 97. So in the end, Andariel makes up for his years of shit drops. Boom, there we go. We actually get the unique Hydra Bow, which is Wind Force. Very simple roll on this one. It rolls 6 to 8 on the Mana Leech. And what do we get? We end up with a perfect 8 Mana Leech Wind Force. Just as Mum says, don't neglect your veggies, I say, don't neglect Rack and Issue. Look at this Ormus.
Hold up. Wait a minute.
Perfect 15 cold skill damage, perfect 15 mana regen, and +3 to Blizzard. While Diablo can't drop all the T87s we're looking for, we do kill him looking for runes and things like that. He ends up dropping a unique ring, and you wouldn't believe it, lads, but guess who? Boom, SOJ, beautiful. I found a bunch of rare boots along the course of this run. This is probably the best. I will be making a Nova Sork when I have the runes for Infinity, and this will be going straight on her. Faster run, walk, FHR, lightning, and poison res. Do you feel like you're seeing Andy a lot? Well, hey, you're not the only one. She drops another unique Legend Spike, which as we know is a duplicate Ghost Flame. Another pretty cool one, but not a T85. We do pick up the unique Succubus Skull, which is of course Bone Flame. Unfortunately, this one rolls only +2 to Necromancer skill levels. Some more pretty cool ones, but nothing to run home about. We pick up the unique Conqueror Crown, and we also get a unique amulet with that. The unique Conqueror Crown is, of course, Halliburton's Reign, which is a pretty cool one. And then we go ahead and ID the amulet, which is a Mahim Oak. Pretty cool one here, lads. We pick up a double ring drop. Pick them both up, put them in the stash, and go ahead and ID, and have a look at this. Boom, Wish Projector, rarest ring in the game, pretty cool. And our second one there is just a Ravenfrost. And lads, just as Andy's Terrorized Zone ends, we do pick up a final unique facet for that run. We pop it in the stash, and for some unknown reason, slow roll the hell out of this thing. And what do we pick up? A disgusting 3/4 cold facet. Now, I don't know how many in the hell of the IK Sacred Armors I found over the course of these runs, which, if the game was nice to me, would just be a Templars to tick off our list. But please enjoy a short compilation of my frustration.
I'm getting really sick of you!
Back again with Andariel, and he does pull through with a nice unique ring here. Go ahead and pick it up and pop it in the stash for the ID, and it is a +3 lifesteal BK ring. Wouldn't you know, lads, another duplicate T87 item. We do pick up the Grandfather. We pick him up and pop him in the stash for another slow roll ID, but there we are. Bit of a rare one here from a random special pack. We do pick up the unique Fanged Knife. This is, of course, the Flesh Ripper. We pick up a pretty decent small charm over here with some life and res, but not the best, not the worst. Another pretty rare one here in the unterrorized Stony Tomb. Over to the right there, we do pick up the unique Shadow Plate, which is Steel Carapace. Can have really high defense roll if it's F. Found a bunch of War Travs over the course of the runs, but this was definitely the best rolled one. Of course, the only stat anyone cares about is the Magic Find. We go ahead and put them in the stash, and we do roll a +48. Another pretty rare one, I guess, but not a lot of use cases for this one. It is the unique Lich Wand, which is Bone Shade. We check to see if there are any Geeds amongst the unique Grand Charms, which there never are, and there's the ID'd Bone Shade. We found a bunch of Arachnid Mesh over the course of the runs, but here's a pretty cool one down in the sewers. We end up clearing the pack out and popping the mesh into our stash for an ID, and okay on the ED roll. Another semi-rare one that no one cares about, that is the unique War Spike. go ahead and ID this one, which is, of course, Cranebeak. It wouldn't be an Andariel run without a couple of facets, lads. So here we go with number 1. We pick up a disgusting 3/5 poison skill damage facet. And moving on swiftly, lads, we do pick up that second jewel amongst the other items there. We give it an ID, and it is a disgusting 4/3 cold facet. Pretty rare one here, lads. We take out Andy, and we pick up a unique mesh armor and unique amulet. We check the shaft stop to see if it's Eth, which it isn't, and we ID a metal grid. Pretty sick. So lads, the Durance is terrorized, and as time has passed, we have returned to the T87 drought. At this point, I am literally on my hands and knees begging Mephisto for a lifeline.
It's just for me, I can't do it.
You can! You can do it, you can! You can!
It turns out the begging works, because what happens next is bonkers. Strap yourselves in, lads.
Manchester City are still alive here. Balotelli, Aguero! I swear you'll never see anything like this ever again!
Mang Song's lesson. Are you kidding me? Such an amazing drop. I've never found this item ever before. We go ahead and give it the ID. Not the best rolls. They roll -7 to 15 on all of the resistances, but nevertheless, a huge one to tick off our list. And don't stress, lads, we immediately return to Duplicate Simulator. We find another unique winged harpoon, which is of course Gargoyle's Bite. Now, I've been wanting to make that fortitude for my Merc ever since we converted those ohms into a low in our last video, but I've just been looking for a base. We end up picking up this Eth 4 open socket Great Hallberg. Not the best base, but it'll do. The relevant roll here is the All Res, which rolls 25 to 30.
Ready? Ready?
Yeah, I don't know why I expected anything else but anti-perfect, but anyway, we do end up finding another GC. This is another skiller, which we go ahead and identify as a +1/2 martial arts. Another facet out here in Chaos, we do go ahead and identify a 3/4 poison. Clearing out the Terrorized Chaos here, and we do drop another facet. We want to make sure Deceased is dead before he kills me and my mercenary, so we go and clear that out, and there we go with the ID. It is a disgusting 3/3 poison. Doing a little bit of seal popping here in Chaos, and we do end up picking up that unique Cryptic Axe, which is of course Tomb Reaver. Not used a lot, and this is a terrible roll with 1 socket. As I said, my high rune luck throughout these runs was pretty terrible, but we do go ahead and pick up a Vex rune here, which is pretty cool. I don't consider Vex runes high runes, I consider them just under, but there she is. Look who's back, Meph breaking the drought again, and if there are any Hearthstone veterans out there, I'll leave this one to Show to introduce.
Alright, justice, 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 justice. Yes! There's justice in the world, guys. There's fucking justice in the world.
That's right, guys, there is justice in the world. It comes in the form of Executioner's Justice, which is an absolutely terrible item that I will never use. Lads, what you'll realise pretty quickly, if not already, is Mephisto is the undisputed GOAT of this challenge. And what does he have here? Boom, SOJ number 2. Unreal. Guess who's knocking more items off our list? There they are, lads. Unique Myrmidon Greaves, which are, of course, Shadow Dancer. These are pretty good as well, and roll +2 on the Shadow Disciplines. Just another kind of snooze fest unique item, but one we haven't shown yet. We do end up picking up the unique Sky Spirit, which is, of course, Ravenlaw. Pretty cool, but not a lot of use for this one. Taking out Travincool here, I actually really enjoyed killing the Terrorized Trav, which you'll see later on. They did come through pretty big on a couple of things, But here we are with the small charm, +4 all res. Pretty cool. It turns out, contrary to popular opinion, there is actually a lot of justice in the world. We do find another unique glorious axe through the Trav. There it is just on screen there. We go ahead and pick it up and ID another Executioner's Justice. Now lads, let me tell you, as we all know, D2 is that game where you find so many items that are so close to just being cracked. Whether it's circlets, charms, amulets, whatever it may be. Here we end up picking up this rare amulet and going ahead and getting the ID. Wowee, Deckard, if this thing had some cast rate on it, geez, it would have been a sweet amulet. I mean, look at that. +2 Necro, 77 mana, 20 all res. Who's ready for some more Andariel Simulator? Here we go with another hour of Terrorized Andy, and you wouldn't believe it. We haven't even found things like Stormspire, Steel Rend yet, and we're picking up a second Mang Song's lesson. It's ridiculous the way this game works sometimes. But in any case, we go ahead and give it the ID, and it actually rolls -15 on the enemy fire res, so potentially something I could use and put a build with together later on. Lads, who's ready for a snooze fiesta? We get a unique spired helm here. We've already shown Nightwings, so you know what this is going to be. It's the boring as hell Veil of Steel. We've already found one cracked Ormus robes, but we do find another one here. I've done a bit of research. This one isn't as valuable as the Blizzard, but we do get a +3 to Nova and +15 lightning skill damage Ormus. How good, lads? More duplicate T87 unique items. Don't worry, it's not another Tyraels. We get another Winged Harpoon, which is our third Gargoyle's Bite. And you thought the T87 duplicates were over. Wow, what a fool you are. In any case, we find another unique Hydra Bow, which is Wind Force, and this one rolls +7 on the Mana Leech. Did somebody ask for more trash skillers? Well, do I have just the thing for you. We're out here, we pick up a couple of GCs, and we do ID a +1 to offensive auras and strength skiller. And if we hadn't already found enough facets, here's another one, lads. We hear it fall off screen, go back and pick it up, give it an ID, and find a 4/5 fire. Again, another mid rune in Chaos. We go ahead and pick up a Gull rune there, just falls off screen. Clear out these mobs here, go and pick it up and pop him in our stash. Back in Terrorized Travincool. Travincool is a great place to magic find when it's terrorized. It's also a great place to pick up Grand Charms and Small Charms. And here we go, eventually picking up a nice, plain, +1 to Javelin and Spear skills. And here we go, lads, with another big one. It took me about 48 hours to work out what had actually dropped here, which is why I missed the kill on the replay buffer. I had a huge day at work, I was half asleep, and this one completely took me by surprise. So please enjoy, and I will see you guys on the other side. Like, what on earth am I doing here? I'm running around picking up gold and looking at Grand Charms. It's just ridiculous. In any case, I do end up working out it's to my left there, pick it up and give it an ID. Given that the negative enemy lightning res is the only thing we really care about, a 1910 is actually pretty decent. Out here running Terrorized Chaos, we do end up taking out one of these special packs and drop a GC. End up clearing out the rest of the room here really quickly. And go ahead and ID the GC, which is another P-Comb. Pretty cool. Still running through Chaos here. We take out another special pack and pick up another GC, which is another skiller, a +1 to summoning skills for the Druid. This run is definitely facets galore. We head back to Terrorized Trav and pick up another jewel. We end up picking it out of the mess there and identify a 3/5 light. I almost don't pick this one up. You see me kind of TP away and then TP back. It's that unique Grimhelm. I'd only check if it's F, and lo and behold, this one actually is. And it's actually pretty good. It almost rolls perfect on the Mana and Life Leech. We have returned to Facet Simulator again, lads, and Terrorized Trav drop us another one here. and we do identify a 5/4 fire. Just hanging around on screen as there's another little drop in here, lads. We end up picking up that GC to the left, and pretty cool, we pick up another plain Picomb. Heading back to Terrorized Andy, and she does drop that cool Kraken shell to the left there, which is of course Leviathan. Pretty cool item, but not a lot of use cases. This is definitely the best roll T-strokes we found through the runs. We end up fishing it out of the mess there and giving it an ID, but it is a +4 to Javelin and Spear skills and 199 ED pair of T-strokes. Pretty cool. So who asked for more facets? In any case, we do pick up a couple of more. This is the first one of the bunch. It is a 4/4 fire. And the next one is another one from Andy. It's actually pretty decent. We go ahead and ID a 4/5 lightning. My big boy reaches another milestone in his journey. He gets to 98 out here, just absolutely laying waste. Who knows? Maybe we get to 99 by the end of this challenge. Out here running the unterrorized pits, and we pick up a cool little mid rune there, which is another gull rune. Again, not really too sure how good of a ring this is, but we end up including it in the drops. It's got 10 FCR, some attack rating, some replenished life, life steal, and some lightning res. Pretty cool. Who knew? Another mid rune that no one cares about. We're out here in Chaos, just slaying some dudes, and we end up picking up a nice gull rune. Then, in a moment of desperation, as yet another T87 drought loomed upon me, I turned to our own Dark Knight, the hero hell deserves, and definitely the one this challenge needs right now.
I'll look into it.
I never said thank you.
And you'll never have to.
I hope you enjoyed that edit, but enjoyed this even more.
Here's Hulk! D-Day! Do not scratch your eyes! You are really seeing the most extraordinary finish here!
I'm sure you're thinking, wow, Set, a Death Fathom. But what about the roll?
Oh! Oh my god! Oh! Oh my fucking god! Oh! Oh! Get this fucking... Oh! No! Get the camera!
An almost perfect 27 cold skill damage. Again, another one we wouldn't ordinarily highlight, but we do go back and check just to see if it's F, and lo and behold, beautiful F Crown of Thieves. Pretty cool. So, did anyone else order another Dark Force Spawn? Because I sure as hell didn't. In any case, let's see how terrible this one rolls. My mouse goes off the screen as I slow roll, but in any case, we get a +1, +1, +2 curses. Fantastic. Just a note that I switched my Merc over to an Insight because it's easier from a mana perspective. It's pretty trash with 13 meditation, but it does roll +6 to the crit strike. Another stupidly rare one, having regard to the fact that we still haven't found T87s like Stormspire and Steel Rend, but we do pick up that unique quilted armor, which is grey form, in a extremely high level Terrorized Worldstone Keep run. I will throw up the probability counter just to give you an idea. Another cool one, taking out one of these special packs in another Terrorized Chaos run, but we do pick up another Vex rune. My unique ring luck has been absolutely exceptional in these sets of runs. Diablo ends up giving us another one here, and we head home to give Deckard the opportunity to ID. Could it be a third Sodge? Could it be another Wisp? We go ahead and check the stash, and boom, Sodge number 3. How good is that? Slaying demons down here in the pits again, and we do get that Grand Charm down to the right there. Please give us a loot filter. In any case, we do find a 1 to combat skills for the Barb with max damage. Guess who again, lads? It's Andy, and guess what again? It's another Vex rune. I know beggars can't be choosers, but a Burrung will be bloody fantastic. In any case, there she is. Andy must have her dancing shoes on because she drops us another duplicate, which is the Myrmidon Greaves Shadow Dancer. Keeping on point with the great unique ring luck, lads, and we do get another one here from Andy. We end up finding it in the mess and popping it in the stash. We eventually ID it, and it is a +5 life leech BK ring. Back on the toxic duplicate train, and we do get another Colossus blade, which, as you know, is my grandfather. So we're just having a bit of downtime. There's no real great terror zones out, so we're just running Unterrorized Chaos, and as you do, you don't really expect much. Sorry, what? A Unterrorized Chaos Mang Song's lesson before Stormspire or Steel Ramp? That is 3 Mang Song's lessons for me. This game works in mysterious ways.
3 for me and 2 for them. Respect, respect, respect.
I'm getting really sick of these ones, lads. But in any case, Mephisto drops us another unique Berserker Axe, which is, of course, Death Cleaver number 694. If I found 694 of those, then I found about 2,079,000,000 of these. This is another unique War Pike, which is, of course, Steel Pillar. I got a letter from the council saying that rates were going up. It was actually really annoying, so I went down to Travancore to have a chat with them. They ended up pacifying me with a unique amulet, and it was actually pretty good. It was a +22 all-res Mara. Here we go, lads, another big T87 off the list, and boom, I'm joking, it's just another grandfather. Thank you, Cow King. After I stop punching holes in the wall, I do end up identifying it, lads, but there it is, grandfather number 6,069. Christmas has definitely come early here, lads, with another facet. How good is this? Slaying some cows, we get another unique jewel, we end up clearing the special pack so we don't die, we pick up the facet, and what do we get? A 4/4 fire. Spectacularly disgusting. Much like Anakin, I will bring peace, freedom, justice, and security to my new empire. Well, maybe not the other ones, but definitely justice, because this is our 3rd Executioner's Justice. This one's pretty cool, and I wouldn't usually show it, but it is an F Templar coat, which is Guardian Angel. It's actually a pretty good alternative for a Merc when you're running Trav. I swear to God, if I find another Crown of Ages, I'm literally going to punch a hole through my monitor. In any case, here is another terrible COA. Meph's left us for dead on the T87 front, but he gives us another facet, which is a 4/5 lightning. What does the council have on this occasion? Is it higher water rates? Is it more land tax? No, actually, it's another unique amulet. We go ahead and pick it up from the mess and give it an ID, and it is a 24 all-res Mara. Pretty cool. Alright boys, we're showing the clip from the start, and you know what that means. This is a big one. Trav come in clutch here. Sit back, enjoy, and I will see you guys on the ID.
My dear lord.
Shit boys, I am super excited to identify this for my future P&B Necro. It rolls 1 to 2 on the P&B skills and -40 to 50 on the enemy poison res.
Mild and backwards tea. It better be delicious.
After I recovered from the absolute worst D-Web roll of all time, we do end up jumping back on the Andariel wagon and finding a unique amulet, which is a +20 Mara. We do end up finding another facet from Andy. This one's a bit different from the rest because it's actually a perfect 5/5 fire facet. I've searched long and hard for a decent pair of 220s, and at the tail end of these runs, we end up finding them. I'm going to slap these straight on my Javazon when I get an Infinity, and they roll with some pretty good cold res. Safe to say, lads, I've had an absolute gutful of facets, but the tail end here, we find another disgusting 3/4 cold. Another pretty rare one, but not used a lot, is the unique Zacharium shield for the Paladin. That is, of course, Dragon Scale. Pretty cool with the plus to Hydra. I promise you, this is the absolute last facet. We end up finding a 5/4 poison facet to close out the unique jewels. Apologies, I lied. There is one more. We close out the unique facets with a 4/5 fire. One of the last really cool drops of the session, we do pick up a unique phase blade, which is, of course, the Azurath. No lightsabers up in this house. Another cool and rare one that we find at the end here is the unique Ghost Glaive, which is, of course, Wraithflight. Not a T87, but pretty cool nonetheless. And just like poetry, lads, we close out with Colossus Blade number 694 billion. Of course, another grandfather. This is the omen for me. I just can't keep going, and we're going to close out the runs with this one. The question then becomes, how far did we fall short? Look, lads, 16 out of 21 is pretty damn good. We missed out on the Templars, the Stormspire, the Cranium Basher, Earthshifter, and Steel Rend, but we did pick up that beautiful Tyrael's Might, D-Web, Death's Fathom, Mangs, Griffins, and the rest. I consider this a pretty damn good crack, lads. And just before we close out, I wanted to show one more quick clip. It turns out the server room we found in our last video was actually our second, and we cubed that up to a burr to prep for our Infinity when that second burr drops.
Previously on Yu-Gi-Oh! I am a sir.
Lads, that's all we have for today. Thank you so much for sticking around. Your support means so much to me. My job here is to continue making new and fun content for the game we know and love. If you like this content, be sure to like and subscribe and tune in next time. I will do my best to make a video a month. If you guys keep tuning in, I'll keep grinding. Until then, stay well, lads, keep slaying, and I'll see you kings in the next one.